Okay. First of all, I have to thank the foundation, Hui Gunyas, the invitation me here to share something about Macau architecture, and secondly, I'm also thanks the fans who comes today to. I think this can be a more sharing and conversation about the Macau Eclectic architecture. So here we can see the Macau at the beginning of the 20th century. The Background still Bay, still a bay, and you see the city, the European city, is more concerned along this area, and we can see here nearby the Gear Hills was empty, almost empty, you know. In fact, in the beginning of the 20th century, the society, they try to find some area for the mid-level, for some important fixture in the society. They find mostly in the hill, in the Gear Hill, and also at the Banya Hill. So in the beginning of 20th century, these two areas become the mid-level in Macau for the important people. They build houses, and today I want to share some about some houses built at the beginning of 20th century at the Gear Hill. It was also my research at the recent years. So at the 19th century and the early 20th century, in the Europe and in the Western culture, we see an architecture style, eclectic style. This type involved combining elements from different periods and style to create a unique design. So we can see here this kind of eclectic architecture. They combine different styles, in fact, and it can mix different historic motif, structural and decorative element, and but they use some modern material at this architecture. And in Macau, this style began at mostly at the end of 19th century, and is very popular in the beginning of 20th century until 1930 or 1940, still in Macau, it was very popular. And they mix also not only the different decorative motif in different period of Western culture, but they mix also some Oriental culture there. So we can see later in some sample. First of all, I want to share this building. This building was the first great house built at the Gia Hill area. It was we see this photo at 1908, and this house was the house of Manuel Silva Mendes, and the name of the house was Villa Primavera or Villa Primorosa, so it relate to spring, and they said that because the tourists came from Portugal to Macau during this season. They said that, yeah. So, and you can see nearby there were nothing except cemetery. The cemetery was also there, and the hill was very empty. And so here I have some information about Manuel de Silva Mendes. He was lawyer, professor, and at the Macau High School, so Liceo. So he arrived at 1901, and beside his professional activity, he was also a collector of Chinese art. Yeah. So some collection he donate to the Macau government, and still nowadays you can find some his collection at the Macau Art Museum. And then the houses in 1998 was removed and expanded, and the project was by architect OBS, so architect Elena Orr and architect Bruno Soares, the architect couple. So here we can see the original plan of this building. In fact, this building, in the outer aspect, it looked like a medieval castle, a little bit neo-Gothic. Okay, we can see some Gothic arch window, but we can't classify it to the neo-Gothic. I think it can be classified as the ethnic architecture in Macau, because you see some classical order they use also. And this is for the main entrance from here, but the main entrance it entered to a grand hall, and for the visitor maybe they enter from here, but you see they enter and there is no grand hall, just a corridor, you see. So the organization is not really very, how to say, very very grand, you know. And but so for the second floor it was more private, I think. But nowadays after the renovation, all the interior space were changed. So here we can see a photo at the beginning of 20th century, and we can see beside the main building there are also a tower behind the main building. And this road was open also at that time, you know. So then in the book in the book written by Joan Borders about Manuel de Silva Mendes, there was many historical old picture about this building. For example, this one, I think it was almost the same period of this one, you see, because we can see the tower there, and it was working for a wind. Yeah. And then from here we can see the veranda. There was some feature of the Mendes family, and at that time the window was more, you see the design was more a Gothic reference. And but here we see a round tower like that. We can see another photo, for example here. Here we can see there was another tower with a dome, you know. So nowadays, in fact, they reconstruct the building, but they reconstruct only one part. I think if the building with this tower, it look like more or more neo-Gothic or something. So it raises the question how we restore or reconstruct a historical building. So here, the photo is also from the book I mentioned. Here you can see the interior of the Julie's house, of the Mendes house. You see here there are some European decoration. See, but here we see some timber false ceiling. We see frequently in Macau at the time. And then we see some motif influenced by Chinese traditional motif here, and here also. So in fact, for the interior, it is in European style, but there are some influence of Chinese decoration. Certainly, the furniture, I think the furniture is come from Goa or some Asia country. I think it comes from Goa. This kind of furniture. We can see a mixture in the decoration, the mixture of culture. And here we see also the decoration, because the lawyer was one collector of Chinese artifacts. We can see many old Chinese artifacts combined with some European furniture. And this is his room. You see for the bed, there are the Chinese element, so very typical Chinese element. But you see some photo, and for the Christians, you see some object of the relate to the religious. And this page was scanned from the book I mentioned. You see the lawyer. He had a big collection of the Chinese art, you see here. And so perhaps with his love of Chinese art, perhaps he used some furniture with the Chinese influence, but we don't know the reason. But nowadays, after the renovation, we can't know how was the building. Yeah. Only we can find in the old photo. Then we go to another great houses, and nowadays this is the Lingnam School building, and so you see the design was very classical, but it is not really new classic. Okay. The house was also another lawyer, Francisco Xavier Anacleto de Silva, and the house was designed by a local architect, a Macanese architect, Joseph Francisco de Silva. He was born in 1893 in Macau, but he was grown in Shanghai with his father, and then he returned to Macau in 1970. He practiced as architect, but he designed only a few projects in Macau. And you see here, in 1990, he moved to Tianjin and Shanghai, and he designed something there. And later, he died in Hong Kong in 1971. And so, this house was one of his projects. He did only very few projects in Macau. This one may be one masterpiece of his project, maybe. Yeah, we can see here the mixture of the neoclassical element with another element. You see, many decoration. And for the interior, you see a very a Western style at that time. Many timber decorative element, something like that. And nowadays, this image was taken by a book published by the government at 1990s about the Macau heritage, building heritage. And here you can see the plan. Okay, so the entrance for this house, you can see a more it's so more powerful for the design. And the entrance from here, you can see first there are small loggia, and then you enter. You can see a small hall of enter. You see, then you can go to this hall or this hall, and then there are a grandiose staircase here. So, if compare of this house to the house of Manuel Silverman, this organization is more can show more powerful, or show more yeah. And then you see these two rooms, they can separate, and also they can unify, and they can go to the veranda and go out to the garden. You see, and we can see some photo nowadays. Although it became the school building in the 1950, yeah, but inside of the building, mostly of the decorate element was kept until today. Yeah. You can see some decorative, yeah. Here you can see the entry hall and the great staircase. See the staircase and also the timber false ceiling. And you see the classroom was the room. Yeah. And for this staircase, in 1950, it was already the school building. They invite a painter to make this painting. This painter was also important because he later made some decoration in a cinema building in Hong Kong, and the cinema at the last 5 or 6 years, the building was in Hong Kong was discussing how to reuse or keep or demolish, and they found there was some decorative painting by this painter. His name is Mui Yutian. Yeah. So I think it is very interesting because we can find some artists that relate Macau and Hong Kong at that time. And another thing is in the staircase, in the ceiling, we can see an opening like that. This kind of skyline we can find at another houses. Another house I will tell you later. Then this is a image of the classroom. You know, this classroom, and they still keep this kind of decoration. So we see the building here, and then we see another big house here. See. So I didn't notice that this is the enter for the cemetery here. Yeah. And then we go to this building. Yeah. And this building was built also in 1970. See, something like that. But for this building, I never have opportunity to enter there. After the renovation and before the renovation, I never have the access to there. So this building is the houses of another jewelry, Luis Gonzaga Nolasco da Silva. So you see, and this building was designed by a British architect from Hong Kong, John Lam. See, so this architect in 1910 he opened his branch office in Macau, and he did some architecture project in Macau also. And then also the building was renovated and expanded in 1996, was also by the couple architects, Elena Orr and Bruno Soares. In the book about the Macau heritage, I found some design drawing of this building. So here we can see the original plan, organization of the space, and also you can see this tower. You see it was more. It looked like more chinoiserie, more Chinese style than nowadays. Nowadays it's like this, but at the beginning it was more Chinese style. Chinese style by European. Okay, and then. For the organization of the interior space, we can see they enter, and then there are also a corridor like that, and the halls and room was organized in the two sides of the corridor. So here, or something like that, you see, and then here, but you see the staircase was like that, not very powerful or very significant, okay, or monumental. So it was used by religious association before the renovation. And the fourth big houses is a little bit downstairs. This house was built a little bit later, you see, because the first three big house you see was the house for the lawyer, for the Portuguese or Macanese lawyer in Macau, was so important. And then the whole area around the Gear Hill began be popular for build some building. In fact, at that area there was more houses, but with the development of the city, they were demolished and built with the new buildings. So nowadays we can find only a few historical buildings maintained. So this house, you can see, this house was for a wealthy Chinese wealthy man. See, Hui Cheng. He was the management of the President Hotel not the President Hotel nowadays, the President Hotel, and later become the Central Hotel in Saint-Malo. See, and the building was designed by Mateus Antonio de Lima. He was engineer. He born in 1862 in Cape Verde, and he did his study in Lisbon. Well, not he did his study in Porto, and then he finished his engineer in Paris. Yeah, so he obtained his engineer degrees in Paris, and he come to Macau, and he teach also in the Liceo, in the Macau High School, and he engaged also in architecture design and also business, and he designed many eclectic style houses in Macau, and still many of them still maintain in, for example, in San Lazaro's district. So here we can see some first project for this building. At the first project, you see it was designed for the twin house. You see the twin house, they mirror the plan. Yeah, for in fact it was some developer, a commercial development for the area. But then later it become a single house, not like that. Okay, this is a double house, something like now we can some vendor nearby the how to say the Holan was also the twin houses, but later he changed to a single house. See, so this house, you see, the design will obtain more relate to the classical design, and I think at that time they are very popular with this kind of bow windows tower. You see here there are a bow window and a tower with bow window, and also we can find this element frequently at the eclectic architecture in Macau. So nowadays we can see the building here, but the entrance, the style of entrance is, I think, is very different from the building, because for the entrance, for me, it looked more closely to the style we found in Hong Kong, with the red black, with some Baroque element, a classical element, and it is very difficult to take the photo because the tree have very So here we see the entrance and the bow window tower. And because this is for a Chinese wealthy man house, I think the design is also related to feng shui. I think, for example, the design of the staircase, the form like that, and then if here you can see at the ground there are a traditional Chinese corn, the golden corn form here. So maybe it means for the fortunes, maybe, or relate to the feng shui. Here is there. We can see very clear here. And so here we can see the veranda, and the material is also very popular in the 1930s in Shanghai, Hong Kong, and Macau. This kind of Shanghai plaster to limit the stone texture. Here we found the years of the building, and then for the interior, you can see a mixture, not only the Western style, but you can see some Chinese decorative motif here. So in this house, you can see really some mixture of the Chinese and European decoration there to show a different living style at that time for a Chinese wealthy man. And you see in this room, there are also some Chinese decorative element. Certainly, you see some Christian element. Why? Because this building was transformed for the Yuhua school. At the 1940 or 1950. So it was the school and also the classroom, but they didn't demolish the decoration during the use as the classroom. You can see the staircase. Okay, there is a very Chinese decoration here. You see the Venice, the vampire, and also the sun or moon or something like that. Oh. So in fact, I show you only 4 grand houses still remain until nowadays in the Gia Hill area. In fact, in Macau there are more eclectic architecture. Why? Because I think the eclectic style, first of all, it was popular in the in the beginning of 20th century, and also for the Chinese community, and especially for the Chinese wealthy men. They think that this style can show their living style with a European style. But in a European style, they mix also some Chinese interior in the building. We can find, for example, in the houses of another Chinese wealthy Chinese man, Go Ho-ling. One house is nearby here, and the other is near Sui Ha Mei, you know. And the interior is also very Chinese decorated. And for example, another building, the building nowadays is the Puijing School main building. It was the house of Low Lim Yok family. Okay, for the interior, you see also some similar. Okay, also you see also some similar with European decorative and also Chinese decorative. They mix two different culture, and even the plan design was more related to Chinese architecture. So, I think this is a very interesting architecture style. Can have a very deep study in Macau, art history or Macau architecture history. Yeah. And at last, in fact, the recent years, I did my PhD study, and I get some research about Macau city and Macau architecture development. And in last year, I published a book in Chinese, published a book in Hong Kong. It's about the Macau architecture from 1840 to 2000. So in this book, I talk about the neoclassic and also the eclectic, and then the modern and the pro-modernism. So a little bit a summary of the architecture development in Macau. Okay. So my sharing today is from here. Yeah. So I want to hear your question or some. Yeah. Yeah.
I would like to ask if the book is still available or sold out.
Yeah,
It can
still,
be,
still available. Yeah.
The edition.
But this is written in Chinese.
No English version?
Not in, it is a little bit, yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm very interested in your picture, the old pictures.
Uh-huh.
That one, can you show me the other one about the Chinese school near St. Lazarus. You know the St. Lazarus, the school.
Ah, yeah, I
Can you
know.
show me that one? I just want to know where is ruled the Wolongai, where is Wolongai at that time.
Oh,
And then what happened to the two sides of the school now? Now they demolish the two sides.
oh,
If you show me the picture again, I
uh,
can explain. I can tell you which one what I'm talking about.
um,
Mm,
but
Not this one, the previous last.
here I didn't show you the
Yeah, this one.
this one.
Yes. What happened to Bolongai? Is no Bolongai?
Ah, I didn't show you today because I only choose the houses in the Gear Hills district.
Is it the same in front of St. Lazarus Church?
Yeah. You
And that way is Bolongai. Bolongai is nearby Bolongai.
yeah, I know which one you are talking about, and that yeah, that yellow
Yeah.
building with also a tower at that. Um, that was also one eclectic style building, uh, also built in 1980. Yeah, no, 1918. Yeah, 1918. Yeah, and I think it was designed by a Chinese Augustino Lau, yeah, a Chinese, and you can find a little bit similar of you can find a little bit similar of this, but the case is different because the size is smaller and it is located at the urban situation, not like that. Yeah, so it is a little bit different. And in my book, I introduce also that building, but today I didn't talk so much.
Where can I, where can I buy a copy of your book?
Oh, where and in a bookshop, but I bring some example here. Yeah, yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you very much for your very nice presentation. And I have a question about the owners of these four mansions.
Yeah.
They know each other. I mean, because they have been built around at this, not exactly at the same time, but because I think the oldest one is the Casa Silva Mendes, maybe
Yeah, the oldest.
1905.
Yeah.
And then I don't remember the timing for the other one, but do they know each other? Is it a kind of, because it looks like they make some kinds of competitions to have the nicest houses on the hill, or it looks a little bit like that, some small castle and.
I I don't know if they will know each other, but you know Macau, the society is so small, and at that time they all are the lawyer, and I think they know each other. In fact, in this area, there were another houses downstairs at this area. Okay, because here there are another house of another lawyer for the family of Lei Dong. Yeah, there was another house, but nowadays it remain only some some basement there. They disappear almost. So I think this is very interesting because the lawyer, they choose this area at that time to build their house.
They were, I guess, part of the highest part of the society
Yeah.
at that time, yeah.
Yeah.
And for the cemetery, it's older than the rest of the...
You see, yeah, the cemetery was older. You remember that? I show you this one. This one, you see. When they built, this was the first, and before that, there are also this cemetery.
What is the time of this? When they built this cemetery?
This cemetery, I don't know exactly the time, but I think it's at the end of 19th century. Okay. Yeah.
Bit curious because my office is inside this building.
Yeah.
So on one of the picture we see another tower behind.
Mm-hmm.
So it was not part of the building, or it was a separate building, or what is it?
The tower behind.
Yeah, I think the one with the windmill.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, this
this
one. Yeah.
You see, this is the property.
Yeah.
The area of property. I think the tower is included in this area. You see
So it was a separate building, no?
Or
the
the windmill
same building.
for some other purpose or other function for that area. Maybe there are well or something. Maybe I don't know exactly what there was. No, nowadays what is this? What is this nowadays? Yeah, I remember you showed me here the glass building and
glass building to replace this part. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they completely removed the.
Yeah, they remove completely. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you for your coming.